Hi, my name is Hannah Killinger. I am an Intro to Criminal Justice student, and today I will be discussing mandatory minimum sentencing laws and the history, advantages, and disadvantages behind them. So first, let's talk about what a mandatory minimum sentencing law is. According to an article posted on March 28th, 2018 by Justice Reform News, mandatory minimum sentencing laws require judges to administer prison terms of a particular length for people convicted of a certain federal and state crime. So now let's talk about the history behind it. These have significantly changed over time, but they've also been around for a long time. So according to an article posted by Congressional Research Service, mandatory minimums have existed throughout American history, with examples stretching as far back as at least 1790. But mandatory minimums gained substantial momentum in the 1980s during the war on drugs. So the Anti-Abuse Act of 1986, signed by President Ronald Reagan, established a very tight mandatory minimum sentences for drug offenses. According to the same article stated before, in the 1990s, minimum sentencing laws expanded with the Violent Crime Control and Law Enforcement Act of 1994, signed by President Bill Clinton. So in recent years, there's been a push to reform these laws due to concerns about their fairness and effectiveness. So the First Step Act of 2018 was signed by President Donald Trump, and that reduced some mandatory minimum sentencing and allowed for more judicial discretion, basically. So yeah, that's some history behind them. Now let's talk about the advantages and disadvantages of them. And there kind of seems to be more disadvantages, is what I've found. So the advantages of mandatory minimum includes consistency and public safety. There is many more, but those are the main two I'm going to be talking about today. So these laws aim to create consistency in sentencing, ensuring that similar crimes receive similar punishments. So that remains consistent. And then mandatory minimum sentencing also advantages like public safety, obviously by imposing long sentences on serious offenders. So, they're basically intended to keep dangerous individuals off the streets, and in doing so, it enhances public safety. So there are also some disadvantages, and today we'll be talking about 3 of those. So we're going to be talking about cost, disproportionate impact, and the lack of judicial discretion. So cost is a disadvantage because of the increased prison population due to them. They have resulted in higher costs for taxpayers, basically. So, yeah, higher cost. And then these sentences have also made a disproportionate impact because of the effect on minority communities and the racial disparities within the criminal justice system. And then the last one is the last disadvantage is the lack of judicial discretion, which has gotten better since 2018 because of Donald Trump, but it's still around. So these laws remove discretion from judges, basically preventing them from considering the unique circumstance of each case. So it takes away some of their responsibilities within that. So yeah, those are the disadvantages that we're talking about today. There are many more, just like the advantages, but that is what I wanted to go over in the amount of time we have. So in conclusion, mandatory minimum sentencing laws have significantly changed throughout the years. There's been many debates throughout the years about them, a lot of different opinions. They were created to ensure consistency and deter crime, but they have also led to challenges, like I just said.